Welcome back, Hour 2, Kentucky Sports Radio. Now, happy to be joined for only the second time since he's been coach and first time since he's been sort of around to know the job is head coach Will Stein. Will, people can't see this, but I'm looking at you through these cameras and love the hat you're wearing. How's everything going?
It's going great, man. I'm so excited to be on the show. Thanks for having me. We actually just practiced our practice for tomorrow.
What does that mean? Practice your practice?
It means, like, dude, there's so many moving parts in a football practice. If we were to go out there tomorrow and have not have walked where we're going to be, the spots on the field, what do these transitions look like, it would have looked like a hot pile of dog, S-H-I-T. So what do you do as a football coach? You plan, you prepare. And now I believe the kids are going to go out tomorrow and be able to take all the anxious energy out because they know where they're going, they know the spots, they know what the drills look like. And we practiced the practice today.
How much of a change is it? I mean, you haven't been a head coach. There's a sort of CEO management part of that. Is that something that – how much of a change is that from what you've done up until this point?
I would say it's been definitely a change. You know, I'm used to being in the offensive staff room with just the offensive coaches, recruiting really the offensive side of the ball. So now when you're a head coach, you deal with every facet of the program: strength and conditioning, nutrition, training room, donor relations, more media. But, I get to be a head coach. Like, how cool is that? And to do it here in Kentucky where, I'm so excited to be and just ready to get rolling with these guys in spring ball. I know they're eager to get out on the football field. They've been working now 8 weeks straight in what we've called the hunt to get prepared for this phase 2 of our offseason.
So tell me what do you mean, the hunt? What does that mean?
It's the grind. It's everything leading up to spring football. It's the early winter workouts. It's just the drills that are combative and make you strain and, make you want to tap out, which is, the mental warfare of playing football. But, one of our core DNA traits is toughness. And that's really what winter phase 1, or the hunt, as we called it, was all about.
Well, let's talk about your team and specifically how you built it. I mean, you had to essentially create a team from scratch. You obviously are keeping a number of guys. I look at the class you brought in and the roster, and it seems to me that you spent a lot of your rev share money, but also your attention on building this core offensive line. Am I correct in that?
100%. Yeah, when I got the job, it was December 2nd, and December 3rd was signing day. Think about that.
Yeah.
You can't build a 26 class in 12 hours. It's absolutely impossible. So, I liked a lot of the kids that we kept on. I mean, all of them, we kept them. And I think there's actually some really good players in that group out of the 10 that we signed. And then I believe it was 34 portal guys. And think about this. We had 66 official visits in a 12-day span.
Yeah,
that's freaking unbelievable, man. Like the work of Pat Biondo, Pete Nocta, Joe Sloan, Jay Bateman, the guys that were here boots on ground while I was going back and forth between Oregon and Lexington. I mean, it's really incredible. There needs to be some sort of book or something written or documented about how they were able to be here working with me and Oregon and us all working together on different time zones to assemble what we believe is a really strong class. And you mentioned the offensive line. I think O-line, D-line in this league, man, that's where it starts. And the winning football in November, December, January is up front. Like, you think about Indiana and what they were able to do in their run. I mean, Fernando Mendoza, phenomenal player, but how did they beat Miami? They ran the freaking football. Mm-hmm. They ran the ball. How did Miami get to where they were? They have a dominant offensive line and running backs that are big and physical. So that's where it's won. The Georgia Bulldog teams of old, the Alabama Saban teams, it's a common denominator. It's having big, giant human beings that are physical up front on the O-line and D-line, so we can throw the ball down the field, so we can run the ball in the fourth quarter to win, so we can stop the run, so we can affect the quarterback. That's where it's won, and that was a major, major piece of this puzzle.
And I think that surprised some people because we have this stereotype of Oregon as just throw it around and there's athletes everywhere, and you did that. You played Indiana twice last year, and they handled you guys fairly well. Do you see the way you build this Kentucky program? Is Indiana a model? I mean, Indiana was maybe the worst program in the major conference in the country, or is it kind of a model? How do you see that?
Well, I mean, I think any team that wins it all is obviously doing something right. So the model of consistency has always been Nick Saban and what he was able to do at Alabama, and that really transitioned into Kirby Smart. And so I've learned that model per se in the vision and eyes of Dan Lanning that's going to translate to now my vision and model for us here at the University of Kentucky. So, I look at Kirk Cignetti and what he was able to do there. Obviously, they're aligned from the top down. But I still remember looking at visuals of the first game at IU in that tenure, and it was a half full stadium. So, they got momentum. They had, big wins early, and they've done it not just offensively, but defensively, special teams. And you can see just as a program that they're extremely aligned, and they have a plan, and they're going and attacking that plan. So that's what I'm excited about is, given – the resources that we have at our disposal. I think we've done an excellent job so far, but it's potential. It's everything that we're not. And that's what I've always learned about that word is potential, is everything that you're not. So how do we take the narrative of what Kentucky may have been in the past and push the envelope forward? And that's what we're doing right now. And I think we have great coaches, number one, phenomenal players that are bought in right now. And I'm just excited to get rolling.
All right, let's talk about the team because we're all going to have to learn this team. Quarterback. Didn't know who he was until I heard he was about to come here, Kenneth Minchey. So tell everybody, this is going to be kind of, for a lot of people, their first real description from someone they trust about who the quarterback is going to be next year. Tell me about Minchey.
Well, he went to Notre Dame, so we all know he's not very smart if he went to Notre Dame. No, he's extremely intelligent, right? Extremely intelligent, can fit in any room. Just talking about him as a person. Old, young, white, black, rich, poor. It doesn't matter. You put Kenny Minchey in the room, and he's a glue guy. So when I have glue guys as my quarterback, to me, that makes the locker room better. Makes the locker room more connected. So I'm really excited about him just as a person. He's extremely competitive. And then as a player, like we all watch the tape and you could say, well, he played in mop-up time. I get it, right? He did. There's truth to that. But when you watch the throws, there's pro throws all over the tape. There's anticipation, there's timing, there's touch, there's velocity, there's pocket mobility. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw it intermediate and short. So that's what I'm excited about. And it's been pretty impressive to see him take this offense that we've built up to this point, and it was almost like he's been in it for 4 years. So that gives me great excitement for his ability to transition and really show his ability to play football at a high level here. And I talked to Mike Denbrock, talked to Gino Guidugli, talked to these guys at Notre Dame that have coached him the last 4 years, and it was really like a coin toss. Obviously Coach Freeman had the final say and who was going to be the guy, and they went with a younger player. But I'm just excited that Kenny's here with us, and I think our fans are going to be really excited.
Has he been all that you hoped? Like, has he been
100%? He's an excellent player, person, and again, ready to see him take the reins of this offense over the next 15 practices.
All right, let's assume that I was hosting Kentucky countdown to kickoff, and Will Stein was not the coach, but he was our expert commentator. Give me a minute to minute and a half. What do I, as a fan, look for in this Kentucky team? Who are some people that stick out to you? And when they come to the spring game here in a little while, who's going to be like, okay, that is the basis for who this team will be?
Well, I think you just first look at just us holistically, like who we are as a team. We're going to be connected in every sense possible. Our players are going to be connected to each other. They're going to play their absolute butts off for each other, play relentless football from point A to point D, point A to point B, 6 seconds of hell. Like offense, defense, special teams.
6 seconds of hell. Is that the phrase?
6 seconds of friggin' hell, man.
Get the T-shirts. 6 seconds of hell. That's the first time I've heard that. Gotcha.
Yes. So that's something that we're gonna, hang our hats on, is just the connectivity of the team, and like I mentioned, player to player, coach to player connection, and then coaches that truly love each other and are passionate about working with each other. That's one. Like, I want our team to play clean. Like, obviously, limit penalties, limit explosive plays. guys that can play the same call on offense, defense, and special teams every single snap. That's huge to us. Offensively too, I think you're going to look at like a modern pro style offense. What does that mean? Like we changed the tempo up. It's not fast paced every single snap. We have the ability to go fast. We have the ability to slow it down, huddle. We can huddle speed break. We can do a bunch of stuff at the line of scrimmage to change the play to get us in the best possible scenario. You're going to see RPOs, you're going to see shots, see vertical passing game, different run schemes. I believe we put an exciting product on the field on offense. And then defensively, we're going to be extremely sound, but attacking. Like a team that will put pressure on the quarterback, cause havoc on the quarterback. A third down package, to me, that is the best in college football with what Jay was able to do at Texas A&M with him and Coach Elko. So that's really exciting as well. And then special teams is all about changing the game. That's our mantra on special teams. How do we change the game? I'm a risk taker. Like, I want to get the ball back for offense. What does that look like each game? It can differ from, surprise onside, fake punts, punt block situations, gate formations on special teams and extra points. Like, I want to put pressure on the opposing team through special teams. It is 1/3 of the game. And you're going to see our best players playing on special teams. It's not just an opportunity to take a play off. It's an opportunity for us to really change the game. So I'm really fired up. The players are doing a great job, not to single out one person or two. I'm just excited for our fans to get out and watch the product that we're going to put on the field and make them proud.
All right, so I know nothing, so I admit that to start. But I look at the roster and I go, okay, love what he did at offensive line. I'm excited about this quarterback. I wonder, do they have, one thing Oregon always had were playmakers at receiver. Do you feel like you have the playmakers at receiver you need?
I love Nick Anderson. I really do. I love DJ Miller. I love, JK in the slot. I love Kenny Darby, who we signed. I love a lot of our guys. I think we got a strong core of receivers. I really do. Especially some younger guys, too, I think are going to show out. I love Willie Rodriguez at tight end, Mikael Skinner, Henry Boyer.
What about Willie Rodriguez? People know him. What have you seen with him so far?
He's got a ton of talent. He's extremely willing in this area to put his face on people and block, but I think he can be a real matchup problem for teams in the slot and even on the perimeter. So, and a Kentucky kid, this place means a lot to him. So, obviously had Kenny Sadiq at Oregon, who was a special, rare talent. We also had Terrence Ferguson there, and this past season we even had Jamari Johnson. So tight ends in our offense have really traditionally done really well. So I'm excited about him. I was really glad that he decided to come back, be a Wildcat, and that was somebody we definitely wanted to keep.
All right, now I look at this. I can't be the first person to say, man, this schedule next year. Kentucky's football schedule is always hard, but you may have inherited the hardest one I've ever seen. So you look at it. See, you love it, though. You're like, let's go.
Quit being scared, man.
I'm not scared.
If you're scared, go to church, bro. Come on. Come on.
See, I love it, though, but
what are we supposed to do? You want me to call the schools up and say, hey, can you please not play us? I'm so scared. Golly, man. I love it. We signed up for it.
I love it.
SEC.
And I would assume that's partially why guys would be excited to play here, right? We get to play Alabama, LSU, NFL, Texas A&M.
Any given Saturday.
Yes.
I watched the freaking Wildcats. Should have beat Texas last year. Come on.
Yes, we should have.
Ole Miss. I just think about when we had Will Levis and we had Liam Cohen calling plays and won 10 freaking games, on a tough schedule. We got to score points, right? We have to score. We have to stop people when it matters. That's not just true for Kentucky. That's true for everybody. You could say all these teams are assembled well. Everybody's got players. We have the starting left tackle from Tennessee playing for us right now. Think about that. We have a guy that played at Ohio State playing left guard. Starting center for Baylor playing for us. We have good players. And we have good coaches. So, cut it loose, man. Don't be scared. Cut it loose.
See, I love
whatever happens, happens.
I'm done being scared, Drew. I'm done being scared.
We have a process.
Yeah.
We have a process.
I love it.
We go through that process throughout the week. We're doing it right now. And, when you have a great process, do the results always happen the way that you want it? No, that's football. Even at Oregon, we had the most elite process that I've been a part of, that I'm building here. and we got our asses kicked in the semifinal. Like that doesn't mean we were a bad team. That means that we had a bad result. We didn't play well. So it's up to us to create competition, real competition in practice. Practice has to be hard. Football is a tough freaking game. It's hard to win. You've heard that from every coach, and it's so hard to win. It is hard. It's real because every team, especially in this league, has great players. So you have to be able to run the ball when it matters. You have to have great quarterback play, and you have to affect the passer. You have to. So that's the plan. It's our job right now to build that plan out, to get real confidence with our guys. And then when we step foot in Kroger Field on September 5th against Youngstown State, like, let's see if our process is what we thought it was. Mm-hmm. And wherever it wasn't, wherever it lacked, we adjust, we make changes, and then we go attack the next week. So there's no guarantees in football, right, at all. All I know is, like, hard work, building a roster, and then going out and cutting it loose.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to fail. Like, just go cut it freaking loose.
I was saying that I look at in that week 3 you play Alabama, and I know you got 2 games before that, but our week 2 or 3 anyway, but play them at home. And I was thinking that's going to be one of the coolest days in Lexington. Like, it really is. That's going to be one of the coolest days in Lexington. When you thought about doing this job, is part of it thinking about that opportunity to have days like that where you're playing these great programs in your home state?
Well, I think the coolest day in Lexington is going to be September 5th, number 1. Youngstown State.
Gotcha.
100%. I know that's coach talk, but that's real. What I don't need to do is give those guys who are tough as hell a soundbite from the Matt Jones show about me thinking about the second game of the year.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
I'm so focused on freaking spring, dude. I am. And, like, I'm so jacked up for tomorrow, getting on the grass, getting on the turf. Like we got 2 practice fields out here. I'm looking at them right now. Like, it's beautiful. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. I get to coach the Wildcats. That is what I'm so fired up about, and really being entrenched in that process. And when we get to those games in our league, man, it's going to be awesome. But what I can't wait is for Kroger Field to be packed, sold out for that first game against Youngstown State.
What has been the part of the program since you've been here that has surprised you the most, or maybe been the thing that you didn't know about Kentucky football that you've come here and going, oh, okay, that's a little different than I thought?
I mean, shoot, man, there's so many to talk about. I will say this: the support from our fans and our, the people that help us out on a day-to-day basis has been incredible. It really has been. I mean, Big Blue Nation is even more than I could have ever known. I was a part of Big Blue Nation as a fan, but to see how dedicated they are to the Wildcats, all of our sports. I mean, shoot, I'm at the gymnastics meet, and there's 2,000 people in there. I'm
yes.
Like, golly, this is freaking unbelievable. Women's basketball against South Carolina, it's packed at Memorial Coliseum to the brim. That's what I'm just so thankful to be here to represent them. I mean, I'm at the legislature. I'm there with our president, Dr. Capilouto, and meeting people there. And, like, I mean, there's Wildcat fans everywhere. It's really cool to see how big of a pull we have throughout not just the state but the entire country.
I have 2 listener questions, well, listener friend / questions, and then we'll get you out of here. One is from a former KSR member, Max Duffy, Ray Guy winner here just a few years ago, and he goes, I got one question for Will. Does he like Australians punting?
We got one. Yeah, we have some Aussies. Heck yeah.
Big Aussie guy then.
Hey, whoever can change the field, I'm good with. We have an Aussie right now.
And lastly, this comes from a listener of the show also who says, how does Will see recruiting in the state of Kentucky? Obviously it's important, but how important is it going forward in terms of who he will recruit out of high school?
Yeah, I mean, and recruiting always starts within your state, no matter where I've been. You have to win the state. Always. So, obviously, I mean, not to mention name, we got, you know the news.
Oh, yeah, we heard it. Yeah.
State, right. So, that's something that, can't allow to happen. We can. We have to win the state, especially when you have extremely talented players, which I'm excited about in this 27 class, guys that are here. So, but here's what I'm going to tell you too, right? I'm not going to beg, man. I'm not. You either want to be a part of this or you don't. We have every resource possible to go sign great players. the way that you recruit is still old school. It's still communication. It's still waking kids up in the morning and putting them to bed at night. Still touching everybody in their life that matters to them. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, coaches, trainers, now agents. That's still the way to recruit. So it's our job to always start within the confines of the Commonwealth, and then we'll go wherever we need to. I've said it before. I'll go to Alaska. I'll go to freaking wherever to get the best players possible for us to go win and win the way that we want to.
You've created two sayings that will outlive this interview. 6 seconds of hell, and if you're scared, go to church. I can just go ahead and tell you, I know this fan base. Both of those you're going to be hearing for a long time. Will, thank you very much for taking the time. Look forward to being out there at some point during spring practice, and go give them hell.
Well, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for having me. Big fans, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Will Stein. We'll take